Hi everyone, welcome back to my maths adventure. My name's Sany and this channel is dedicated to you, the mature student who wants to study mathematics. Just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who supported me in my last video. Thank you for all the likes, the comments and the subs. I'm truly grateful, thank you. So just a bit of an update before we begin the video. What am I doing at the moment? So I am currently studying for my AS level maths exam test, which will be in a couple of weeks. If you don't know already, here in the UK, all the GCSE and A-level formal exams in the summer have been cancelled. So every education institution in the UK needs to come up with some sort of test or plan on how they're going to assess all their students in the summer. My college decided to do an online test, and as I said, that being a couple of weeks, so I'm revising hard. Not much difficulty that I'm seeing in the revision. I'm getting through it and I'm approaching the trig, the differentiation, the integration subjects. So looking forward to studying them, which not many people can say about trig and calculus. So just to clear up something about my last video, now the captions actually spelt my name as Sally, S-A-L-L-Y. My name isn't Sally, it's actually Sany, which is S-A-N-Y. Now I'm not too sure why the O2 captions actually did this. Must be something about my strange British accent. So on to the video, my top 5 tips for mature students who wish to study part-time mathematics. Just to let you know that this list isn't exhaustive, there are other tips out there, so these are just my personal opinions. If you have any other sort of ideas, just leave them in the comment section, and if you watch till the end of this video, you'll hear about what my next video is going to be about as well. So on to the first tip. So my first tip is actually finding the time to study itself. Before you begin the course, you need to find out if you have the actual time to study. It doesn't mean just attending class. It means that have you got the time to not only attend class, but do the homework and do the self-directed study that comes along with your topics that you don't understand. So before you begin the actual course itself, you need to actually find out if you have the actual time to study. Now, it could be that you may be working multiple jobs, you may be working long shifts, or you may be working excessive hours. So you need to look at your timetable and establish if you can actually study the course itself. Now, that's one sort of point. However, the other point is that not only the studying, but also doing the homework and the self-directed study as well, which is important. So find out if you have the time to study. Now in mathematics, as a lot of people can say, if you start to fall behind with the work, you're going to really struggle to catch up. So make sure you have the time to actually study the course before you begin it. So my second tip is have an understanding employer. It's really important that before you begin the course, you check with your employer to understand that if you're working for someone who will be supportive of your studies. Are they flexible about your working hours when you need additional time off from work to study and perhaps to do exams as well? My best tip is to actually talk to your employer or your manager that you want to actually study a part-time course, hopefully in mathematics, and what the options are when it comes to a flexible working policy. That way you can manage your expectations and your company's expectations as well when it comes to time off work. So check in with your employer, talk to your employer. I'm lucky that I work for an employer who's actually very flexible about my working hours. You know, I can take time off during the week if I need it. I can start later, I can finish early. That's because I've had that sort of conversation with my manager already in the beginning. So that way I was upfront about what I needed from my manager themselves and what they can actually give me when it came to actually taking time off. And it's been a great help because around about exam time, I need about a week to 2 weeks to actually revise and study and prep for exam time, just like at the moment. So that's tip number 2. My third tip is to study what you're passionate about. There's no point in studying something that you're not genuinely interested in or passionate about, as that will sometimes set you up for failure. Better to pursue a subject at school that genuinely interests you, as this will motivate you when studying actually gets tough. Granted, when I began my actual course in mathematics at GCSE level, I was motivated more by a promotion at work. However, my sort of priorities changed when I actually became more passionate about mathematics and became actually better at it. So in the beginning, you may not actually do the course because you actually enjoy it or you're passionate about it, but leave the door open. Be mindful about the fact that you may actually start to enjoy the subject at some point. Granted, when I began my GCSE mathematics evening course at college, I was motivated more by a promotion at work because they required me to have an A to C in GCSE mathematics. However, because I became good at it and also became passionate about maths along the way, I started to become really good at what I was doing at college, and it allowed me to get the best grade. And also that passion kept me motivated throughout my time at school. So it's really important that even if you may not be studying what you're passionate about, you need to keep yourself passionate about something. For example, maths is a facilitating subject. You may want to go on to do computer science. You may want to get into physics. You may want to get into medicine, and mathematics A level is one of those facilitating subjects usually. So if you're not passionate about maths, but you're passionate about those other subjects, at least keep that goal in mind to keep you motivated to do well in your mathematics class. My fourth tip is have somebody who believes in you. Inevitably, during your time at school and throughout your studies, you may start to fall behind in class or start topics that are very hard to learn and just plain difficult to understand. And mathematics can be like that a lot of times. So you may start to become down about your studies. So that's why having a partner, having family or friend that's supportive of your goals in the beginning is really important. At least tell one person what you're doing, because at the end of the day, you need that support and motivation when time gets tough. This way, if you start to fall behind with your math studies or become down about it, that's someone who you confided in can give you that support and motivation through that tough times. Also, you may confide in someone in your class. You need to be supportive of each other. There may be students there in your class with different abilities who need that support and motivation as well. So perhaps to help you, you can become a mentor to that person as well, which will really help. So my last tip is don't compare yourselves to others. Now, when you begin your course, you may find that there are different people with different ability levels and also differing ages. When I actually began my GCSE mathematics, I was the oldest one in my class, which was really strange, returning back to education for so long. So when you're there, you may not be the smartest, you may not be the youngest, but you have to actually ignore that fact and trying to focus on the course itself. You may find that there are smart younger students there who actually understand concepts a lot quicker and also seem to actually plow through the material really quick and understand everything along the way. But it's really important that you stay motivated and you're not comparing yourself to the other students and start doubting your own ability. Remember, you're on your own path, you're on your own journey. So there's a saying, don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. It's really important that you focus on you and what you're capable of. You're unique, you're special, and this path that you're on is your time and your journey. So focus on you and not your classmates and what their achievements are. Just having that confidence to start a part-time course as an older, mature student is already a success and something to be immensely proud of. So that's my top 5 tips. Finding the time to study, have an understanding employer, study what you're passionate about, have somebody who believes in you, and don't compare yourselves to others. So in my next video, I'll be discussing how I actually got involved in mathematics, how I began my GCSE maths course 2 years ago as a part-time mature student. If you want to watch that video, just hit the notification bell button and you should get a reminder when that video is up. So thank you again for everyone who's currently supporting me. It's been a great help and it is really motivating me to actually carry on and do these videos. I appreciate it if you can hit the like button, subscribe and comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.